The Labyrinth is the gold farm for the Shadow of the Mad King event, so today we're going to be going over fun and efficient builds for heavy armor elite specializations. Labyrinth builds will help both you and your allies in getting more bags. Alongside providing you with the builds, I will also be rating them based on boon production, tagging abilities, movement capabilities, ease of use, and overall just how well they work. Also, if you're interested in just one or a few, I do have timestamps available. For the equipment we're going to be using on every build, we have Minstrels. Minstrels will be providing us with increased survivability alongside more boon uptime thanks to concentration. Our relic is going to be the Relic of the Wayfinder, to increase our movement speed passively. Starting off the heavy classes, we have Dragonhunter. Our weapons for Dragonhunter is going to be Pistol and Shield. Pistol's got a pierce and can shoot fairly quickly. Shield's got boons for allies on its 4. This build starts off with Virtues 223 for more boons for allies. Along with this, a healing increase. Our next spec is going to be Valor 113 for Condi removal, reducing shield recharge, more boons, and reduced recharge for Virtue 3. For Dragonhunter itself, we're going with 131 for increased healing and Aegis on traps. Our skills are going to be Purification, Stand Your Ground, Procession of Blades, Advance, and Dragon's Maw. The 3 of our traps will be used at green doors to help with tagging. To use this build, we're going to be using our Shouts and Shield 4 off cooldown, 4 boons to allies, and try to tag as many mobs as you can with your pistol. Our Virtues also give allies boons, so use 2 and 3 when off cooldown as well. For our traps, we'll be using them at green doors to help tag as many mobs as we can. Boon-wise, this isn't great. You do provide some, which does help a little bit, but nowhere near 100%. C+ tier. Tagging potential is decent, its pistol doesn't have the best range, but makes up for it in pierce and fairly quick fire rates. At green doors it's even better, we've got 3 traps and our symbol on pistol 3 to tag a ton of mobs with ease. A tier. Our movement is okay, with our Virtue 2 being a leap and having our Relic of the Wayfinder. B+ tier. This is also pretty easy to use. All you do is use your shield, shouts, and virtues when running around, and our traps at doors while tagging mobs with your pistol. A tier. Overall, it has good tagging potential, good enough movement to keep up, and is easy to play. B+ tier. Next up is Willibender. Our weapons are going to be Pistol and Shield. Pistol provides decent tagging skills with its fast attacks and 3, and Shield provides boons to allies on its 4. This build starts off with Valor 113 providing us with reduced recharges on both Shield and Virtue 3, along with some extra boons and Condi removal. Our next spec is Virtues 222 providing us with Virtue recharge and more boons. For Willibender itself, we have 321, which increases movement speed, gives us more movement skills, and a bunch of boons. For skills, we have Receive the Light, Advance, Sword of Justice, Stand Your Ground, and Feel My Wrath. To use this, we're going to be using our Shield 4 and Shout skills off cooldown for boons to allies, and Sword of Justice at green doors to tag mobs effectively. We're also going to be using all of our Virtue skills for more boons. For boons, it provides a bunch of different ones in different instances. I have not been able to get up to 100% uptime though on any of these, and that could just be me with not having very much experience with Willibender. B+ tier. For tagging, it has Pistol's fast shooting auto attack paired with a pierce, though this does not have that long of a range. At green doors, it has 2 damaging AoEs to help out. A tier. Its movement is of course great because it's Willibender. All of its virtues help out, plus we have the Relic of the Wayfinder. A+ tier. This is fairly easy to use like Dragonhunter. You use your virtues and shouts, then your Sword of Justice at green doors, and just auto attack with pistol the rest of the way. A tier. Overall, it has decent boons, good movement, and okay tagging abilities, while being easy to play. B+ tier. Now for Firebrand, the class that's great in World vs. World Zergs. Like the other Guardians, we're going to be using Pistol and Shield. This build starts out with Virtues 222 for more boons to allies and some healing. We also have Valor 113 for reduced recharges on both our Virtue 3 and Shield, as well as some other survivability and boons. Firebrand itself has 223 providing us with quickness production as well as increased page generation. For skills, we have mantras of Solace, Potence, Lore, and Liberation. Then we also have Sword of Justice. To use this build, we're going to be using our mantras to produce boons to allies, but we want to save at least 1 charge of each mantra for the quicker recharge. For Tombs, Courage 4 and 5, then Resolve 3 and 4 have priority of the rest of the tome skills. We're also going to be wanting to use our Shield 4 for more boons. Then when we're at green doors, we can also use our Sword of Justice to tap as many mobs as we can, also tagging mobs in between with your pistol. For boons, it's decent, it's got 100% uptime of regeneration, protection, resolution, and quickness. Plus, there are multiple instances with the mantras and can be easily used on the move. This can be used as the way to farm the majority of your bags. A+ tier. Tagging capabilities is still strong, having Sword of Justice and our pistol symbol, piercing and fast auto attack. A+ tier. Mobility on the other hand is almost non-existent in this, only getting the movement speed bonus from the relic which every class uses. C tier. This isn't too difficult to use as long as you know which skills to use in your tomes. Other than that, you're mainly just using your mantras. B+ tier. Overall, like World vs. World, this is great for farming bags. A+ tier. Until the next class entirely, we have Warrior. I'll be starting off with Berserker. Our weapon is going to be Rifle for having its pierce and long range. The only downside is going to be its slow attack speed. To start off with this build, we have Discipline 312. This increases our healing and buffs our banners. The next one is going to be Tactics 232. This provides us with even more healing and some boons. For Berserker itself, we have 323. This allows us to provide quickness when using our burst skills as well as minor survivability bonuses when entering Berserker mode. Our skills are the Banners of Defense, Tactics, Discipline, and Battle Standard. Our heal is to the limits. To use this build, we're going to be using our banners off cooldown. This is where our main boon generation is going to be at. Still, you need to tag with this build, so we're going to be using our rifle auto attack to tag as many mobs as possible. Boons, are they good? Well, banners can provide 100% uptime of regeneration and fury. However, this is only when you're standing still. When we're running along, we're not going to get all 15 seconds of the boons from the banner, so it will be a lot less. But it still does provide quite a few different types of boons in different instances to spread across allies. B+ tier. Its tagging capabilities is okay when running from door to door, but when we get to green doors, we don't have any extra AoEs to help with tagging. B+ tier. Mobility is sure what this build lacks. All it has is the Relic of the Wayfinder to help out with movement speed, which every class does. C tier. This build is very easy to play though, only requiring you to place banners when possible and auto attack targets for bags. A tier. Overall, it's an easy build to play but lacks in mobility and doesn't have the best tagging capabilities or boon production. B+ tier. Next up is Spellbreaker. This is almost identical to the Berserker. Its weapons are the same with Rifle for long range and Pierce. We also have Discipline 313 for increased healing and buffs to our banners, along with Tactics 232, which increases our healing even further, and our boon generation. Spellbreaker itself gets 221, mainly focusing on boon removal and buffs to full counter. Our skills are going to be the same with To the Limit, Banners of Defense, Tactics, Discipline, and Battle Standard. Like Berserker, we're going to be using our banners off cooldown and trying to tag as many mobs as possible with our rifle's auto attack. So how good are these boons? Well, like Berserker, we have 100% uptime of regeneration and fury. However, this is when we're standing still. When we're running from door to door, we do not have this much because we can't wait for all 15 seconds of boons. Still, there's a good amount of boons when you're just running past, and you will have that 100% uptime when you're at bosses or green doors. B+ tier. For our tagging capabilities, it relies totally on our rifle's auto attack. We don't have any AoEs for green doors to help out with tagging. We do have full counter, but it requires mobs to still be able to attack you. B+ tier. Mobility is lacking, it only has the Relic of the Wayfinder, which every class does. C tier. This build is really easy to use because all you need to do is be able to attack mobs with your rifle's auto attack, which is fairly good with its pierce and long range. You're also throwing down banners when possible, but that's one click of a button. A tier. Overall, this is basically a replica of the Berserker build, providing okay boon production and decent tagging capabilities with terrible mobility. B+ tier. Bladesworn is next, and this is definitely going to be different. First off, we don't need a weapon because we're going to be sticking in Gunsaber the entire time due to its damage being low enough. For the build itself, we have Discipline 312. This mainly buffs our banners, but also gives us better healing. We also have Tactics 232 for more boons and even more healing increase. For Bladesworn itself, we're going to be going with 113. to allow us to provide Alec and increase our healing even more. Our skills are going to be the same as the other warriors, being to the limit, and the banner's tactics, defense, discipline, and battle standard. To use this build, we're going to be using our Gunsaber's auto attack to tag mobs. Gunsaber 5 is a leap that we can use to catch up with a group. We're going to be using Dragon Trigger when possible to provide Alec. Quickly use its 1 or 2 if you need the movement, and avoid targeting non-boss mobs with it. Also in Dragon Trigger, you have a teleport you can use multiple times to help catch up if you're behind or need to reposition to more allies. Other than that, we're going to be spamming our banners when possible to provide boons. On the boon side of things, this is fairly okay. Like the other warriors, it provides 100% uptime of regeneration and fury, but only can do so when everyone's standing still. When we're running from door to door, we're going to be having a lot less than that, still providing multiple instances of boons. With Bladesworn though, you can give Alec with your Dragon Trigger, which is 100% uptime. A tier. Tagging capabilities of this is about the same as Rifle Warriors, but with a funner Gunsaber. B+ tier. Mobility wise, this is a lot better. We have the Leap and Gunsaber, Leap and Dragon Trigger, and short teleports in Dragon Trigger. A tier. This is much harder to use than the other warriors though, requiring you to enter Dragon Trigger all the time and still keep up with your group. Dropping banners is still easy though. C+ tier. Overall, this is a slightly better version of the other warriors, but still isn't great itself. B+ tier. Starting off Revenant, we have Renegade. Our weapon is going to be short bow. It can pierce and does attack fairly quickly to help with tagging mobs. For the build itself, we're going to be starting off with Retribution 223. This helps our survivability by a lot and provides us with increased endurance regeneration. Our next spec is going to be Salvation 112, which grants us increased healing, but mainly what we're after here is the concentration increase that it gives. For Renegade itself, we're going to be going with 313. This provides us with even more boon production, healing, and most importantly, the Renegade Legend stance. Since this is Revenant, I don't have to name off all of the skills. For your second legend though, it's going to be Shiro for the increased movement speed if you really need it. Otherwise, you're going to be staying out of it. So how do we use this? First of all, we don't have enough boons to rely on, so we're going to be focusing on tagging mobs with our short bow. Alongside this, use Orders from Above for Alec, Break Razor's Bastion, and then enhance Dark Razor's Daring for more boons. When we're at green doors, we can toss in Ice Razor's Ire and Citadel Bombardment. For our boons, our only 100% uptime is going to be of Alec by spamming our Orders from Above. We also do get very minor amounts of boons from the other 2 summons and traits. B tier. Our short bow is okay at tagging, being able to both pierce and attack quickly. We also have a few AoEs helpful for green doors. A tier. Its mobility is not great. The only movement it has here is from the Wayfinder Relic and Shiro's Impossible Odds, which would force you to move off of Kala. B tier. It is pretty easy to use though, only having a few skills to keep an eye on, and not any mechanic other than enhancing, which is just using one of your other legend skills beforehand. A tier. Overall, it's decent for tagging while providing okay boons to help you relax more on tagging. It's also easy to play but lacks in mobility. B+ tier. Next up is Vindicator. Our weapon, like Renegade, is going to be short bow, which provides us a fast attacking piercing auto attack. Our build is also going to be Retribution 221 for increased survivability and, more importantly, increased endurance regeneration so that we can hop more often later. Next is Salvation 113, increasing heals and, more importantly, giving us concentration for more boon uptime. For Vindicator itself, we're going to be going with 333, which gives us a leap dodge and increases our boon production by lots. Our stances are Alliance and Assassin. How we're going to be using this is going to be using Energy Meld and Battle Dance and your dodges off cooldown to provide boons, and then tag using your short bow's auto attack. Our boons are okay but very difficult to provide. Our 100% uptime boons are going to be Alec, Regeneration, and Resistance, which is great. Having 2 boons Herald cannot provide. The one downside is Regeneration and Resistance are both gained from the skill that forces you to roll backwards, so to keep up with the group you have to turn around every time you use it to keep going in the direction of the group. A+ tier. Tagging capabilities is not the best as you rely on your short bow's pierce for green doors, though it is good for just roaming. B+ tier. Its mobility is not great as its only mobility comes from the Relic of the Wayfinder and Shiro's Impossible Odds, which forces you to leave Alliance stance, which provides you with boons. Yes, I ignored its evade back because you're using it for boons and not mobility, plus it's not the best mobility overall. C tier. It's not easy to use either. To provide regeneration and resistance, you have to use your backward evade every 3 seconds or less with Alec, which makes you turn around completely before using it each time. This also makes tagging harder because you're taking most of your time to provide boons. B tier. Overall, this isn't the best and is really difficult to provide boons. B+ tier. We were saving the best for last. This is Herald. First off, our tagging weapon is going to be short bow. Its pierce and fast firing really helps with tagging mobs. For our actual build, we've got Retribution 223 for increased survivability and endurance recovery. For Salvation, we have 112, providing us with more healing and more importantly, more concentration. For Herald itself, we've got 331 to avoid unnecessary might generation, movement speed increases, even more survivability, and the ability to provide quickness as well as increased concentration. Our legend is Glint, and we don't need anything else. To use this build, we're going to be focusing on creating boons. With this build, tagging is not actually required. You have 2 choices, lazy farming with facets of light, elements, and darkness, or for more active farming, facets of chaos, elements, and lights. Let's talk about its boon potential. Whatever facet it activates gives 100% uptime of that boon. For the lazy farming, that will be regeneration, fury, and swiftness. For the active farming, it will be quickness, protection, regeneration, and swiftness. Another upside to this is that all these boons are pulsing, so spread between allies is incredible. S+ tier. Its tagging abilities isn't required at all, but if you really had to, you've got your short bow for piercing and good attack speed. B+ tier. For mobility, it has the Relic of the Wayfinder and a trait from your Herald which increases your movement speed. 63% out of combat in total, or 55% in combat in total. Because of its great speed, just from walking it doesn't need leaps or teleports or anything else. A+ tier. It's also incredibly easy to use. You can set and forget it and then just walk around with your group enjoying the scenery. S+ tier. Overall, this is the best Labyrinth farmer, providing incredible boons by just setting facets. S+ tier. Here's what the final ratings for each specialization was, and what each of them provide. Dragonhunter is B+ tier. It has good tagging capabilities and is easy to play while providing some boons. Willibender is B+ tier. It has good mobility paired with good tagging abilities and okay boons. Firebrand is A+ tier. It provides incredible amount of boons, being able to rely on that, though also being able to tag really well, but it does lack mobility. Berserker is B+ tier. It can provide good boons with banners and tag well with rifle. Spellbreaker is B+ tier. It's basically a replica of the Berserker, providing good boons with its banners and tagging well with its rifle. Bladesworn is B+ tier. It has better boons and mobility than the other warriors, but similar tagging abilities. Renegade is B+ tier. It has good tagging abilities and okay boon production. It does lack in mobility though. Vindicator is B+ tier. It is really difficult to provide even though they are good boons, also lacking mobility. Herald is S+ tier. This is by far the best Labyrinth farmer. It provides incredible boons at one click of a button while having good mobility and tagging capabilities if needed. Well, that's all the heavy armor classes. If you're interested in the other armor types, check the playlist in the description. If you enjoy any of these builds or have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. Consider giving this video a thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in one of these, and have a great day.